Testing 1, 2, 3. Hello, welcome to a perfectly normal day in Alaska. I am your host, Brennan Lippert, and today we are here with an absolutely random stranger off the campus of UAF. I'm going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves, tell me who they are, what they're into, what you're studying, where you're going. I mean, anything you want to put out there.
Hello. My name is Katrina Rudolph. I'm studying wildlife biology and conservation here at UAF. I'm from Illinois, so the lower 48. This is my first time ever in Alaska. I love the snow and the cold. I've never experienced negative temperatures like this, and I love it. It's been a great experience.
So, you said Illinois?
Yes.
And it's your first semester here at UAF?
This is my second semester.
Second semester, okay. So, I feel like this is the most immediate, most obvious question, is why did you come to the interior of Alaska, to a town of 30,000 so odd people, right smack dab in the subarctic? Why come to college here, out of all places from that far away?
Well, so my mom was actually born here in Fairbanks, and my goal was to find a college that had the program that I wanted, and I also really wanted to travel, so I thought a really good way of combining travel and my education would be to go to school somewhere really far away with the opportunities that I wanted. So when I was at my community college and I was talking to my counselor, they were like, why not check out Alaska? They're great. And so I went online and I found UAF and I took the virtual tour and I just fell in love. I loved the area and I liked that my mom was born here, so there's a little bit of like sentimental value to it.
And how old are you?
I am 21.
And how old were you when you moved here, 20?
Yes.
So, when you came here about a year ago, were there any big culture shocks? Anything that really you found unexpected? Because, just to kind of frame the question better, I know a lot of times people come to Alaska, it's an entirely different thing than what they perceived. What were like the big adjustments or realizations you had coming here? I mean, what was kind of the most difficult thing to realize about it?
Probably like little things that Alaskans do. Like I was expecting there to be like intellect or not intellect, but like speech difference and like having them sound different, but really there's no difference in it. But there's like little words that they say that's like we don't use, or like the different stores. Like I've never been to a Fred Meyer's, didn't know those existed. I was like, is there not just like a Walmart? And there's like, no, there's Freddy's. I was like, what are we talking about here? And so just different things like that. And there's little places that like we don't have, or like I've never done a lot of winter sports that are really common here that people are really good at, that I don't do that in Illinois because there's not enough snow to do any of these cool winter sports that you guys have up here. Not too much of a culture shock, but it was definitely took some time to get used to everything here.
How would you rate the people of Alaska? Like, you ever gone out on the public bus system or anything like that? Like, how would you rate day-to-day interactions, random folks here? How is that compared to Illinois? Any differences there?
Actually, yeah. So the first time I ever took the bus, there was this guy that was trying to talk to me. And so, like, the only public bus system that I've been on is the transit in Chicago. And so, like, you don't talk to people in Chicago. That's how you get abducted. That's, like, you don't talk to people unless you got something rude to say or to make them move. Like, it's not carry on conversation. This guy held the door for me and then started talking to me, and I was like, you don't talk to strangers. And here I noticed that like a lot of the elders and stuff, there's a lot of that like respect thing of talking to them and being kind to them. And like where I'm from, like no matter who you are, you don't talk to them, you don't make eye contact, you go about your day, because that's how like bad things happen, you know. And so for me it was really interesting to get on the bus and to have this older guy talk to me, because it was like, oh, you know, that's what I should be doing. But it was really, really interesting. I think the people here are nice. I don't mind it at all. It's a lot different than Chicago, where other people are very rude or just quiet and don't want to talk to you and stuff like that.
So, we've kind of gone over, you've moved here from Illinois, you're pursuing this wildlife biology program, you love it here, you love the cold, the people are kind of crazy, they talk to you, whatever else. So, we've gone over detailing Alaska quite a bit, but I suppose I should ask, what's been really entertaining here? Like, out of all of the experiences you've had here since you showed up, what would you say has been your favorite, like, wildest, most entertaining story? Like, what's that one moment of time here that just made you go, like it wouldn't have happened anywhere else?
I guess it'd probably have to be during my ecology lab. I've taken other lab sciences like at my junior college, and they were all done in a lab. So this ecology lab was outside, and it's winter, like it just snowed. We got like 2 feet of snow, and we are traipsing through the woods in like a single file line. Like that, you don't do that in Illinois. One, there's no woods. And then somebody brought their dog. And they had the dog dig up the ground where we needed to like dig ourselves. That we're not allowed to have pets or anything on campus, and so like UAF, to be able to have dogs and come out and do things with your pets, like it was kind of crazy to me that they just like, yeah, let your dog dig up that area, and it just started digging up what we needed to in the snow, having a great time. And instead of actually finishing the lab, we just played in the snow with the dog. And that doesn't happen in Illinois. That's not something that we get to do or have that opportunity to do that.
You ever had any good off-campus experiences?
I don't get off campus a lot because I don't have a car, but when I do have a good time. It tends to be more like going to Fred Meyer's or going out to eat with my friends. We went for my birthday and got to go to Chena Hot Springs, and that was really cool. I've never been to anything like that, so it was really interesting to watch the snow melt and the hot springs, and it kind of smelled, which was weird. Yes, a lot like eggs. But it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And we went to the pump house for my birthday dinner, and that was a lot of fun. So it was a really good time.
What was kind of that experience? You said when you went to Chena Hot Springs. Have you ever been like out of Fairbanks yet?
When I first came up before we moved in, my aunt and uncle have a cabin in Soldotna, and so we stayed down there for a week, and we went to Homer, and that was really pretty to be on the ocean and see everything. And we did this draft horse ride where they took us up into the mountains, and you could see off the cliff into like this river and valley, and it was so pretty, this huge scenic horseback ride. And it was just me and my aunt on these giant draft horses, and it was really cool. And then we drove up through Anchorage and then into Fairbanks. So it was cool. I've seen a lot of it, but because of the wildfires, it was really smoky, and I don't think it was as pretty as it could have been without like clouds of smoke everywhere.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and close this interview here in a bit, but I got one more question for you before we start doing our conclusions. So, out of all of this, you've told these wonderful stories, really exciting stuff. But you got to tell me, though, if there was one thing about your time here that just it gives you the heebie-jeebies, you don't want to be here. Like, it's the one thing that makes you consider going back, if it exists. What was that one experience or that one part of being here that you just got to gruel through it?
Probably the darkness. So like, this is my first semester with an 8 a.m. class, and it's completely dark when I get up, and it's so hard that first class to wake up and to get up and to get moving, and then to be done with class and it still be dark. It's just kind of grueling to deal with the fact that there's no sun and there's no darkness, because even in Illinois, like, it gets dark and it stays dark till probably 8 or 9, and then it's dark again at like 6 or 7 at night. But this is like so much more, and it's really, really dark. That's the only thing that I'd say if I could change anything, I would. It'd give me more daylight.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, I really appreciate you coming on the show. Your name again?
Katrina.
Katrina, thank you so much. Once again, I'm Brennan, and before I let you go, before I turn the cameras and the microphone off, I'm going to give you just time to say whatever random crap you want to say. You got any sponsors to rep, any friends to call out, any organizations to rep, whatever you want to do. This is your time. Free mic. What you got to say?
Big shout out to Katie White and Serenity Bailey for being my best friends up here and showing me the ropes. Thank you to the professors and especially the people who run the shuttles. Best job ever. I thoroughly appreciate.
I know I literally just asked your name, but could you repeat it